What's up, y'all? It's your boy Vinnie-Dangerous, and I'm back with another installment of Dangerous Minds. Got a special guest with me today, one of the coldest MCs that I know from the Bull City. You know, like one of my homies that I really, I'm a big fan of. It's the homie Kelly Kale. How you doing?
What up, though? I'm doing good. How you feeling?
Yo, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Like things have been good. You know, staying safe, staying in the house, making sure that I don't catch the virus.
You ain't been in the house.
I ain't been in the house like that. But there's people, my mask on, people don't know that I'm out. So I just tell them I'm in the house. Yo, but how's everything been? Speaking of that, how's everything been with you since things have been opening up, kind of navigating this ongoing situation that the world's going on? YouTube don't like us to say exactly what's going on because they mess with your video. So, but you kind of get the gist of it.
Right. I mean, I've been pretty much chilling, trying to chill. I've been here, like places here and there, but like overall, I just been trying to chill. I've been at work. We went back to work last year, so I've been going back to work physically to a job for like a year.
Dang, that sucks.
Right.
Like I was about to say,
I only got when it happened, March. I got April, May, June, July, and part of August.
Well, you know what? That's how my last job was. That's how my last job was. But we weren't really even out. We were, because they were doing this weird thing where we were off and on. Like we would go to work in the office 1 week, and then the next week you had to be in the office. I mean, you work from home, and then it just rotated because it's like half the staff went home and half staff is there. So we really wasn't there like home, but eventually they said they didn't want to do that. Maybe that lasted for like 2 months, and they said, "Nah, you got to come back."
Look, but what's the point? Like, if we can work from home, just let us work from home.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's getting done. The work's getting done. So, but I see you've been performing. Like you've been doing a lot. You've been like the last show. I think at the time of recording, the last show that I saw you did was like on the 1st of October. So you've been moving. I know you've been working on some new music. That's kind of like been in the works. We spoke about it before.
Look, like, who said that?
Yeah, I was wondering if you were performing any of the new stuff, or is it just Giveem Hell, or?
Yeah, I basically just been performing Giveem Hell. I ain't released no new music. I've been itching to perform one song.
Just been under wraps.
Yeah, I've been going back and forth with like, should I perform a song or not? What you think? Like, you think I should like test songs out, or just keep it on the wraps until I'm ready?
I don't know. It depends on the song. Like, honestly, I don't like, because I like to do that. I like to test tracks just to see, like, okay, let's see how people vibing with this, vibing with that. Just sometimes it could be a single, it could not be. So I go out there and test it on a random show. But then there's other songs where it's like, I know I kind of want to keep this one tucked away until it's time to put it out. So it's kind of just, it depends on the song. But, if you feel like, hey, I want to go ahead and just kind of get a feel for how people, gonna rock with this, like at a show, I would just throw it in there and just see how it go.
I feel like it could be a single, so we'll see.
Yo, it's funny. That's actually how I first saw you perform. That was the first time I like heard your music. Was you were performing at the Poorhouse? I don't remember what year it was. It was a while ago. But
okay, I think I remember. I only done the Poorhouse maybe twice. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I think it might have been part of like one of those festivals. It might have been like Hopscotch or something like that.
I ain't never done Hopscotch.
Oh, okay. I know it was some kind of event like that.
I think it was like a festival though. Yeah, I did a Poorhouse. Yeah.
So, and then there was I remember when I spoke to you after because I was like, oh, I gotta talk to you, and I knew you through Durham too, so it's like, oh, this is my first time meeting her. I gotta tell her she's dope. And you told me like, yeah, you hadn't even recorded that song. Like, like it
when
hadn't
I performed
even been. Yeah, like by the time you performed, it's like, yo, I've just been kind of testing this out, and I'm like, yo, that's hot. That's right. it's kind of sounds similar to some of the stuff that you did on Giveem Hell. So I was gonna ask you, kind of what was the creative process with that, like coming up with that sound with you and Germ and kind of locking in to create the body of work you guys did.
With Giveem Hell. So honestly, I feel like Germ was the mastermind behind all of that. But honestly, he would like throw me beats, like a set. He'll do like 3 to 5 beats. He'll throw me.
Oh, that's dope.
And at the end, he was basically telling me he was trying to see which beats I was gravitating towards. And he was like, so whatever you started writing on then, I kind of just like gathered different sounds that was kind of similar to that to throw you some more and see what you was gravitating towards in this pack. So he basically executive produced the whole thing.
Oh yeah. And it's funny because he did the same thing with me, honestly. It was he would just throw random beats, and he was trying to test me because it was like just sending me just the weirdest stuff to see what I would do with it. And sometimes I bite, sometimes I didn't. It just depended on how I was feeling. But yeah, he's just like, I was trying to just seeing which way you was gonna go, and then he just sent me like 3 other beats that's in that same vein. And that's like, wow, the way he masterminded that was dope.
Right. Hold on.
Giveem Hell. Because like the way that they came together, like how long was that process? Was it like over a year, a few months? Because it sounds very cohesive, like it was just kind of one track after another, just kind of like you still kept the same vibe, the same energy throughout. Like you could tell it was very cohesive, very consistent. So like, what would you think? I
should have just let it go. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Fuck.
Yeah, I don't know how to mute that from the MacBook. Yeah, and like tech is what I do now, like in my day job. So I don't even, but I don't really do it.
Tech, and you don't know?
Well, I deal with Windows and stuff. I don't deal with Mac. Most of our stuff ain't built on Mac servers and stuff.
Ooh, I found it.
Okay.
I did a do not disturb on that check. Okay.
Oh, okay, dope. All right, so so the creative process for Giveem Hell. Like I was gonna ask you, how long did it take for you guys to put that album together? Was it a year, like a few months? Because it sounds very cohesive. It sounds very consistent. Because like you guys were like locked in, like maybe for like a matter of weeks or something like that, and created it. And it's very like consistent that way. So kind of walk me through like the timeline of how everything came together.
So majority of the album we did in like 2019. So I'm gonna say August, because Germ went to LA and then he came back. It was like Germ disappeared and then he came back and was like, I'm back. And he was like, let me get settled in and then we can start like meeting up and stuff. So I'm gonna say like August, we started meeting. Some of those meetings like starting off, you just talking. Yeah. Basically, just talking, catching up, trying to get a feel of things. And from August to, I'm gonna say February.
Okay.
Pretty much like locked in and try to figure out the sound. One of those joints, the 2-minute drill, I did in 2018 though.
Okay.
Yeah, I did that in 2018, and then the rest was just in that period of time.
That one sound. I remember when it popped up on the album, I felt like it sounded familiar. Like I'd heard it even before I knew you guys were working on this project.
Right. I think Germ posted it on Instagram.
Yeah, that's probably what it was. I figured it was either that or I saw you perform it or something like that.
Yeah, he posted the beat. I think he posted the beat.
Okay. Yeah, he's good for that. He's good for
that.
Actually, it's funny. One of the tracks, "Fake Love" off of our joint. Like I ended up commenting on it maybe like 2 years before he actually sent it to me to use. But I commented on it like when he posted it on Instagram, and it was like, "Yo, I need that." And then we just so happy. He just like, "Yo, I think I got something for you," and I was just like, "Wow!" I think he went through Instagram and just happened to notice that I commented under it, and I was like, "Yo," it just kind of it's like fate. It just kind of happened that way.
That's crazy.
So tell me, how did everything get started with you with music? Like, kind of walk us through like, the beginning of your career and like kind of what led you down this path.
Okay, so well, I didn't start putting out music till 2017 when I dropped the Unanticipated.
Okay.
But like I started writing as a child. So I was like 10, 11 writing. And honestly, like to be real, I saw that's when Bow Wow and Romeo was real big. And that was my first time ever seeing like, I'm like, dang, it's kid rappers. Like,
yeah.
So that kind of inspired me. And I was like, if they can do it, I can do it. So I just started like writing songs over beats. I don't even remember how I was like finding beats. I think it was for a period. I was real big into like video games. They had MTV put out this music generator.
Oh yeah, I used that before.
You did? Okay. Yeah, they put out this game. It was a music generator game, and I just started like making beats and writing songs over that. But then I would have, for some reason, I would get like instrumentals on a CD. I don't know how I got them though.
Probably something like LimeWire or something. Because that's how I used to get the instrumentals. Like my boy would burn them on a CD and give them to me.
No, honestly, like I wasn't burning them. I mean, I did burn CDs, CDs in middle school, but but like these were like CDs. I remember it was writing on it that I didn't write on it.
Okay.
But I would turn up with CDs with instrumentals on them. Find instrumentals like somewhere online. Yeah, so that's how I basically got into music. I started writing when I was younger, but I stopped for a while. Like high school, I might have done like 3-4 verses while in high school. So I thought it was just like a period where, it was just like a phase. And my junior year in college, my stepbrother made a beat. And I wrote a song to it, recorded it on GarageBand, and my roommates heard it. And it was like, oh shoot, this, like I kind of like this. So they got me back in my bag a little bit.
Oh, dope.
So from there, I like once I graduated from college, I just had a lot of time. I wasn't working right after college. So I had a lot of time to just sit and write and record on GarageBand and get myself together. And I got to a point where I had like a whole bunch of songs and I thought they were fire. I was like, they're too good to just sit on my laptop.
Yeah.
So that's when I started going to the studio and recorded the Unanticipated.
Oh, okay. So that was the switch of where it went from being something that you just kind of did for fun and that you just kind of really enjoyed doing and to turn it into something that you want to pursue and like turn it into a profession.
Yep. After college, like after I graduated, that was really when I started taking it seriously a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that happens to a lot of people because you go through college and you're just focused on your studies and you're focused on, just kind of living your life.
Right.
And things like that. And like, I'm, like you were still writing and you still recording, but it wasn't until like after that. It's kind of like, what am I supposed to do with this time that it was all wrapped up with these books and stuff like that? It's just like,
right.
The music was the shining beacon in a way. It's like, oh, this is where I need to go. This is the path I need to take.
Right.
So I was gonna say, because I know you rap Bull City hard. Like I feel like there's a lot of things that that's something that I noticed about people from Durham is that when they from Durham, either they love it, like, and they rep it everywhere they go, or like in their music, wherever they take it, or like they're quiet about it. I won't say that they don't like it. It's either one or the other. It's either like you're very boastful about being from Durham, or you're just really quiet. Like I'm not even really gonna let anybody know. So I was gonna ask you, how is being from Durham? How did that shape and inspire your music? Like how did you put your process together?
I really be rapping Durham.
Yeah. I was about to say I knew that before I really knew much else about you. I just knew you rapped and you were from Durham. Because
Damn, that's crazy. Durham is, how can I describe Durham?
Because I will say, like, being from Fayetteville, when I came to Durham, it does inspire me, especially being downtown. That was always kind of like my spot to just be, and I feel like I kind of soaked up the energy. Like I always say, like Raleigh feels like the city as far as like industrial, corporate, brick and mortar, whatever. But like Durham felt like the art to me. Like that felt like the real artsy place. The part where like I would see the dudes with just walking around with canvases tucked under their stuff. They got their dashikis on, or they got their vest on, and they got like sandals, and they carrying around just paint canvases, like just hang. That's what it felt like, real artsy to me. So how I like being from Durham, like how is that, like I guess that kind of energy enforced in your music?
Durham is like a tight community. I want to say like the Black community.
Yeah,
it's a tight community. How can I describe Durham? Artsy. When did you come to Durham?
2011.
2011.
Yeah, when I went to Central.
Okay. Damn, you went to Central.
Yo, it brought me to Durham.
I can tell you about like growing up, like high school, that adolescent period.
Yeah.
Like Hillside, just the culture of, you know about Hillside?
Yeah.
Like high school?
Matter of fact, it's funny because I that was one of the things that blew my mind, because walk talking to people from Durham, and they're like, "Oh man, I'm from Hillside, or I'm from this this high school." Like people was boasting about it. Yo, in Fayetteville, they don't care. Like whatever high school you went to is whatever high school you went to.
Y'all ain't care about the high school? Nah. I feel like Hillside is like a little mini HBCU.
Yo, that's what people would describe it. It feels like it from the band and everything.
Yeah, I was in the band, so like
okay.
the music and like the plays, Mr. Tab, Brandonette, like people were coming into town to look at plays, come to see high school plays.
Wow.
So like the arts is really, really big in Durham. But yeah, I just feel like I remember a lot of like from high school. Like high school and just being like amongst going to a Black high school. It really just like made me prideful to be Black. Look, to be Black.
Oh, dope.
It made me like figure out the real world a little bit, get into fashion, music, like all of that, all of the arts. I really feel like Hillside played a big part in all of this.
Oh, that's dope. And I feel like that was a really dope experience. Like our high school, I mean my high school growing up, like I didn't have those same experiences. Like so, and I hear people talk about, schools like Hillside and like how deep into the arts and like music and stuff like that. Like that, I could tell that would definitely pave the way for like greatness when it comes to people coming out, just because of how they foster those environments and things like that. So I would say, my next question I was going to ask. So I know you've worked with a few people like in the area, people that you probably went to school with or like just linking up with. But who would you say, and it doesn't have to be somebody local, but who would you say would like be like a dream collaboration for you? Like if you had a chance for your next project or your next single, like you could have anybody.
Anybody?
Yeah. Don't worry about the budget. Don't worry about, none of that other stuff. It's like, I can get this person. I want them on the record.
I mean, my favorite rapper is Jay-Z, but I feel like that's a cliche answer though.
No, that's a dope one. I mean, he's definitely up there for me. So.
Hold on. Let me think about somebody else. Let's see.
Okay.
Um,
Yo, you pretty popular. You're pretty
I'm
popular.
lit up tonight. Damn. Normally it'd be a calm, collected, chill night for me. I think it would be. I would actually like to do something with like Sir.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a name I wouldn't have expected too. That's a dope.
Yeah.
But dude's talented. He's one of my favorites.
Yeah, something with that vibe. Yeah.
Ah, that's dope. Okay. So what kind of track would it be?
Like a mellow song.
Okay.
Yeah. Get him on a hook, on a bridge.
Because I've heard some of his stuff he did with D Smoke on the last album. There's a little bit more energy behind it. So I'm thinking he kind of going in that direction too.
I haven't heard it. What's the name of the song?
I just know it's on the album. I listen to a lot of my stuff driving, so I don't even,
okay.
so I don't even be looking at the songs. But dang, what is it called? I think it's called Common Sense. From the album. Yeah, it's called Common Sense.
Yeah, I want to make something. I've been thinking about like, should I tell my ideas?
I mean, I guess you could kind of say what direction you want to go in without giving too much away.
I want to do something smooth, mellow like that.
Okay.
Because I did do something like that with my EP.
Yeah. The one right before Giveem Hell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was kind of a smoother vibe.
Yeah. I want to do something like that again.
Okay, dope. Would it be like a full-blown R&B album or something like that?
No, I ain't singing.
I mean, maybe not singing, maybe not R&B is the right word, but it'd be more of like those kind of topics that are usually covered in R&B, like love and loss and things like that.
That, I don't know. I can't say it's gonna be love and all that, but just like mellow, like smooth mellow beats.
Okay.
Smooth mellow beats, yeah.
Okay, dope. And I like that you're able to change up your style like that, because you could be mellow, traditional hip hop, and then you could do something experimental, like with Giveem Hell. I would say one of my pet peeves in hip hop today is that there isn't a lot of variety. Like a lot of people are afraid to switch it up or afraid to do something different than what is expected. What would be one of your pet peeves about hip hop today, or like the hip hop scene in general?
I'm trying to figure out if I'm still in love with hip hop.
Oh dang, it's like that.
I feel like it's too many people trying to, just copy each other. Like everybody's going after the same sound. So like you said, the variety it's not a lot of variety in it.
I can't remember. It was a podcast I was listening to, but it was right after Meek Mill's album came out. And but no, I'm not gonna diss Meek or nothing like that. But the guy made an interesting point that I kind of felt that listening to it was that like he's just copying the sound that's hot right now from like Lil Durk and Lil Baby and trying to sound like those guys for this album. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, because that's what happens. It feels like nowadays it's not a lot of emphasis on being yourself. It's just, this guy caught fire, so we all need to do what that guy's doing. And then that's hot for that year, those 4, 5, 6 months. And then the next guy comes out and now everybody's gravitating and doing what they're doing.
We don't need 6 people doing that same type.
Exactly. Like, yo, the original is still here making music. I go listen to him before I go listen to some imitation.
Right. Exactly. But sometimes I'll be like, is it me? Because I'm getting older. But then like sometimes like, so I got a younger cousin. I mean, he's not young, but like he's 24. And he was like, yeah, that first half of the Meek album, like the first 5, 6 songs, it was just a bunch of noise. And then I think it was the BET Awards. Like we was watching it as a family, and like my little cousin, he was like 6, and he was like, "Thank God, whoever came on to perform, they was like, thank God, because like everybody else just making a bunch of noise, or they all sound the same." And I was like, okay, like it's really, maybe it's not me.
Nah, I mean, because I have those thoughts too. Like certain artists that people gravitate to, I just don't feel it. Maybe my ears are just too old now. Like I just like somebody new come out and everybody's like, "Oh, they're the best thing ever," and I'm like,
Right.
I don't feel it. I don't see it.
Right.
But I'm thinking, all right, maybe my ears are just too old. But then I talk to some of my like my younger homies or my little sister, and people in that generation that they're making it for, and they're even like, "Nah, this is trash." And I'm like, okay, I'm not tripping. And I think it's really because, like you a student of the game, I'm a student of the game. And we knew a time where all of the top artists didn't sound like each other.
Right.
Like, when Jay came on the radio, I know that's a Jay record. Oh, when Busta come on the radio, I know that. I know that's Busta. I know that's Missy, or I know that's Ja Rule, or whoever you could think of. It's just like all of those guys. No matter if you was a fan of them or not, you at least knew, okay, that's him. That's his style. That's what he do. Or that's what she do. And nobody was like crossing streams like that.
Right. I missed that time.
I'm like, even if it was trash, at least it was your trash. You're not copying somebody else's trash. It's like you copying off of somebody's test and they got all the wrong answers. And you just copied and now you got all the wrong answers. You can't even take credit like you at least tried your best. It's like you copied off of somebody else that was just trash.
Right. So yeah, like that's how I feel about it today.
Yeah. Yo, it's funny. I asked that question a few times on a few episodes, and that's like the number one answer for most people. It's just the lack of originality. Yeah, it's like a lot of people, and it's multiple generations of people that I've interviewed on here, and a lot of them say the same thing.
That's kind of sad.
Yo, this one guy, he broke it down to me one time in the show though, and it made sense. I still don't like it, but it made sense. It's like the music industry, the music don't make as much money no more. It's really about personalities and things like that. So
yeah, because we can do this on our own.
And like, with streaming and stuff like that, like how they pay out per stream versus like when people actually buying albums, like buying physical copies of CDs and things like that.
Right.
It's like, oh, okay, well, we're not going to invest as much in the music as we would with everything else around it. Like everything else used to be what brought people to the music. Now everything else is the main thing, and the music is like the commercial to advertise the merchandise and the shows and just this artist in general.
They want artists to be like this personality and everything, but like let them get on live like Ari Lennox. How she be getting on live all the time.
Yo, I feel like she does a good job about it though. She does a good job. And there's some other people that get on live and then they say something crazy and now everybody looking like, oh no, we need to take him off the internet like right now. It's like it's too late. They already took the screenshots, the screen recordings is already on the shade room, and now y'all got to clean up.
Right.
So there's a couple things I wanted to ask you. Before we wrap up, I was gonna ask you, what would you say? I guess like so far in your career, like what would be your biggest accomplishment, and what would be like a goal, like the accomplishment that you're like reaching for? Like since you've been taking music seriously, like where do you see as kind of like this is the next step? But well, first I'll ask you, what was the first biggest accomplishment, and then we can go into the second part of that.
The first one was really that first project that I put out, the Unanticipated. Like I really wasn't. I didn't have any goals set out, so I just put it out. But like I caught a lot of wind from that. Like a lot of people listened to that. That opened like a lot of doors. The reason why I didn't really make any music for a while after that, because I dropped it in 2017, and then I didn't come out till 2020 with the EP and then the album. They got me a lot of shows. That helped me get on that BET, the Freestyle Friday thing.
Oh yeah, that was dope.
Like that opened so many doors for me. So that was like, I would say the biggest accomplishment.
Yo, that's dope. And it's just kind of like that feeling of finally putting something out after you've been sitting on it too. It's just like to be able to finally say, all right, I finally made that step. And I'm happy to hear, because this is a dope project. I need to go back and listen to that one. I listened to the EP and I listened to Giveem Hell right before we did the interview. I'll go back and listen to your first one. But yeah, it's definitely dope to see somebody like you get like the recognition off gate, like for putting out your project.
That was love for real, because I didn't have any goals or expectations. I was just like, let me put this out and see what happened. And like a lot of people were supporting it. So honestly, I was just like, all right, I'm gonna throw y'all this, let y'all niggas I didn't have a game plan or anything. I was just like, I'm gonna put this out. This might be the only thing y'all getting, but then people kept asking like, when you dropping some new music? I was like, oh damn, I gotta continue this shit.
I think that was the first thing I asked you every time I saw you. It's like, yo, like I've been running your EP into the ground. I mean, your first project in the ground. Like, yo, where's the new stuff at?
Yeah, no plan.
So what would you say is like your goal now? Like, what would be the thing you're reaching for? Like, kind of like, what was like be the ultimate goal like this?
Honestly, I don't be trying to set, I mean, we all have goals, but I don't be trying to set, like, put expectations on me. You feel me?
Yeah, I feel that.
I just don't want to get to a point where I'm like I'm not having fun. I just always want to treat it as a hobby, so I'm always having fun and enjoying.
Okay.
So, because once I feel like it's work, then that's when I'm gonna be like, all right, I don't want to do this. Yeah, I'm like, I don't want to do this. I already know how I am. I'm like, all right, I don't want to do this.
That's real, because I mean, this is pretty much like the work away from work kind of thing, you know. So, like once it feels like the 9 to 5, then it's time to check out.
Right. I know it's a lot of hard work though. The goal is to just get as many people as I can to, you know, hear the music. Honestly.
Okay, dope. So I was so one of the things, that's why I really appreciate that people were digging your stuff early on, especially you being a woman MC. Like I know I've talked to other people that I know that say that they, you know, it's a challenge for them to get the respect that they want, especially being like an MC that like actually has bars and things like that, to get that kind of respect. Like I've never seen, and I've never, you know, from the outside looking in, I've never seen that with you as far as like people not respecting your talent. But, you know, from your personal experience, has there been any challenge as far as like getting respect as a rapper, as an MC?
So, I honestly like, yeah, I've never had an issue with that. I kind of hate saying that I've never had an issue, because like females, I know females do have a hard time getting recognition for that. But like since I've been putting stuff out, I really haven't had any issues. Like people just be, I don't want to beat myself up. I hate doing stuff like that. But no, like honestly, I haven't come across that issue.
Okay.
And when I put out the Unanticipated, like that was the first thing I wanted to do, was just to focus on my bars strictly. Just to let niggas know, like, yeah, I'm here, I can rap. I didn't want to do like the girly girl image neither. Even though, you know, girly girls can rap, but I wanted it to be like just focus on my music, honestly.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Okay, dope. And I actually, it's refreshing to hear that, to know that, you haven't experienced that pushback. I think I asked Michelle from the Artist Corner when I interviewed her, and she said something similar, kind of like, I haven't experienced it, and it's a blessing that you haven't experienced that in your career. Hopefully, like, it never happens, or you never have to experience anything like that, because your talent is definitely something to be respected. And like, I can speak for myself when I say I can't wait to see what the next thing, Kelly Kale has, to serve up after, Giveem Hell, after the Unanticipated and the EP that you dropped. Oh yeah, no problem. I'm gonna be all ears regardless. I was gonna ask you as the final question before we wrap things up. I was gonna say, like, somebody that isn't familiar with you and that is listening to your music for the first time, like, what would be something that one thing you would want people to take away from your music after they've taken that first listen?
I hope they're having fun, like, listening to it, but I hope you hear what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I hope you really hearing what I'm saying.
Oh, cool.
Look, I'm talking that talk in it. I am. It sound good. It might sound fun. Like Giveem Hell might sound fun, but like I am talking that talk. I'm saying something in it.
Yo, word. Like, yo, I peep it. I'm a lyrics person, so I hear the bars, and I like, you definitely serve them up every time.
Gotta put the lip gloss on.
Yeah, and it was funny. I was deep into my question, and then I looked up and I saw that, and I was just like, "Oh, okay." I just didn't. I didn't know. I didn't see it come out, so I was confused.
Gotta keep the lips popping.
Hey, I respect it. I just bought some, but mine get chapped when they get cold, so I had to be on it. But yo, I appreciate you taking the time to speak to me today and like be on the show. Definitely make sure that y'all stream Giveem Hell, the Unanticipated, the EP you put out also in 2020, and be on the lookout for everything that comes next. I'll also put the links to everything in the bio as well. So the YouTube video, just so people can have that direct link. But until next time, it's your boy Vinnie-Dangerous, Kelly Kale. This has been Dangerous Minds. Much love.
Thank you.
Trust me, I'ma be ready when they come for me. Dying soon, black man, so he might be dying soon. One supposed to make it past 22. Now he 28, that 6 years overdue. Just let you know I'ma be on guard. Whether no hood or a superstar, it really don't matter where we are. It just matters in the cars. The devil's working hard, so pray for me.